Hi, welcome to another video. So, this is pretty big news. OpenAI just acqui-hired at least 7 engineers from Cline. If you've been following the AI coding space, you know Cline is one of the most popular open source coding agents out there. It's trusted by over 4 million developers. I was actually one of the first persons on YouTube to cover it back when it was known as Claude Dev. And now, a significant chunk of their engineering team is heading to OpenAI. Let me break down what happened and why this matters. I am going to be basing it off on this Kilo Code blog post, as it is very detailed, but I'll also talk about some other articles as well. For those who don't know, Cline started as Claude Dev, a VS Code extension created by Saud Rizwan. It was renamed to Cline after a major update where they started supporting different models as well, apart from Claude, and quickly became one of the go-to tools for agentic coding. The whole appeal was that it runs right in your IDE. It can plan tasks before executing them with its dual plan and act modes. It can read your entire project, run terminal commands, and even browse the web, all while keeping you in control with approval steps. It was the first agentic coder that I ever used, and it picked up great momentum with 3.5 Sonnet. The extension became so popular that it hit #1 on OpenRouter. And unlike Cursor or Windsurf, which are proprietary, Cline was fully open source. You could use any model you wanted: Anthropic, OpenAI, Gemini, local models through Ollama, whatever worked for you. So, why did OpenAI go after their team? Well, this is what's called an acqui-hire. It's when a company doesn't buy the startup outright, but hires most of the key talent instead. According to the information, OpenAI recruited at least 7 employees who were instrumental in building Cline's core technology. That's not just random developers. That's the people who actually built the thing. The timing makes a lot of sense if you think about it. OpenAI has been losing ground in the coding space. Anthropic's Claude became the model of choice for developers. Claude Code and the whole ecosystem around it basically dominated the agentic coding conversation. GitHub Copilot is still huge, but it's seen as more of an autocomplete tool than a true coding agent. OpenAI needed something more. They needed people who understood how to build a proper agentic coding experience. And who better than the team that built one of the most successful open source coding agents? Now, here's the part that's kind of wild. This effectively gutted Cline's engineering team. 7 engineers is a lot for a startup. The open source project will probably continue in some form, since it's open source after all, but the momentum behind it might slow down significantly. If you're a Cline user, I wouldn't panic just yet. The extension still works, the community is still there, and forks like Kilo Code and Ru Code exist as alternatives. Kilo specifically positions itself as a superset of both Cline and Ru Code, so if you're looking for a smooth transition, that's probably your best bet. But this does raise some questions about the sustainability of open source AI tools. Cline was doing everything right. They had a great product, a huge user base, and they'd even raised funding. But when OpenAI comes knocking with presumably massive offers, it's hard for a startup to compete. I've talked about this before, but the AI developer tool space is getting really competitive. You have Cursor backed by serious VC money, Windsurf doing their own thing, Claude Code from Anthropic, and now OpenAI is clearly making a push with Codex. This acqui-hire shows they're serious about catching up. What does this mean for OpenAI's products? I'd expect to see significant improvements to their coding capabilities. Maybe a dedicated coding agent, maybe better IDE integrations. The Cline team built one of the best UX patterns for agentic coding with the plan and act modes. I wouldn't be surprised if we see something similar show up in OpenAI's tools. For the broader ecosystem, this is a reminder that open source projects, no matter how popular, can be disrupted by big tech hiring away the core team. It's happened before with other projects, and it'll happen again. My take? If you're using Cline and it works for you, keep using it. But keep an eye on Kilo Code and the other forks. They've been actively developing new features, and with the uncertainty around Cline's future development, having a backup plan makes sense. Also, this is probably bullish for Anthropic, weirdly enough. If OpenAI is scrambling to build competitive coding tools by hiring away talent, it means they see Anthropic as a real threat in this space. Claude Code and the whole Anthropic developer ecosystem must be doing something right. To be honest, I think that the people who have been hired by Codex will not be able to do anything good. Why? Well, the thing is that Cline was only successful because of the great models that Anthropic produced. If there was no 3.5 sonnet, then the project would have probably never been made by the main founder in the first place. The person to hire should have been the founder and not the other team members as the main form of Cline, since Claude Dev was incepted by him, and it still follows the same form factor. Yes, they might have made it light and faster, but the soul of product features was by the founder itself. And in one line, this is a scummy move by OpenAI and makes me skeptical to recommend Codex to anyone. OpenAI shouldn't have done this because wasn't Meta doing the same thing with their employees? And Sam Altman was really furious about it. If the employees want to leave for any reason, then that's fine, but just poaching employees from an open source project is really scummy, even if it is for any reason. They should have just bought Cline instead, and maybe made it into Codex. It is so bad, man. I am sad about Cline for sure. Overall, it's not so cool. Anyway, share your thoughts below and subscribe to the channel. You can also donate via Super Thanks option or join the channel as well and get some perks. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.